This is the plaintiff, Jalissa Suarez. She says she was totally ripped off by the defendant, who sold her a car with multiple problems. For instance, the muffler was tied together with old Coke cans and wire. The axle was tied up with electrical tape, and the check engine light always on. It's a real shame there are scammers out there preying on the innocent, and she hopes this lawsuit sends a message to be kind to strangers. She's suing for $1,383.13 for all she's out. This is the defendant, Angel Negron. He says the plaintiff brought someone with her to check out the car, test drove it twice, and then bought it. A few days later, the plaintiff calls him and says she no longer wants the car, called him a crook, and said her boyfriend was going to come over and beat him to a pulp. Nice lady. Bottom line, he sold her a good car, and it'll be a cold day in you-know-where before he refunds a penny to the hothead. He's accused of unloading a hoopty. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,200 for harassment and lost wages.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Jalissa Suarez, you are suing Angel Negron for $1,383.13, $1,200 that you want returned to you on the purchase of a car, plus money that you put into the car trying to fix it, because according to you, he sold you a lemon. You have a counterclaim against her for $1,200, $1,000 for her. What a coincidence! $1,000. That's the amount she paid for the car. The $1,000 for harassment, and $200 for lost wages having to come to court. Tell me what's going on.
I saw his number, the car. I called the number that was on the back shield of his car. He happens to be around where I lived. So I was looking at the window and I called.
What kind of car was this?
It's a 2004 Dodge Stratus.
Okay.
And I called him and I met with him really quick. And I told him I'm interested in buying a car and so forth. But when I was looking out the window, I saw him when he was parking the car that he kept looking under the hood. Like he was sitting in the driver's seat, but he kept looking under. So when I went downstairs,
wait, I'm not understanding. How are you sitting in the driver's seat but looking under the hood?
He was sitting in the driver's seat of the car.
I don't understand. You mean under the dashboard?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What do you mean under the whole car?
Under the car.
That's where you threw me off.
Yes,
You said the hood. That's okay. All right. So he's looking underneath the car. All right.
Yeah. So when I came down, I met with him. I told him I was interested in buying a car.
And then the first question you ask is, what were you looking at?
Yeah. Like, what are you looking under there? Is there something, wrong with the car? He said, oh, no. Right. So then we got over that. And then I said,
you got over that quickly?
No,
okay.
I said, okay, I'm going to go by what he's telling me. I don't know what he was looking at. He said nothing. So then I said, he's selling for $1,800. That's how much I said on the window. We didn't talk about price then or anything. And I said, I'll call you tomorrow or whatever to see, if I'm going to buy the car. And that this is where all the texts and everything started.
There's a lot of texts.
Yes. And then he gave it
You negotiate the price down to 2/3 of what he was asking. You get a third off. You negotiate the price down to $1,200.
Right. So to me, it sounded good.
So you paid $1,200 for the. Did it sound good? Okay. And then you had said that you were going to bring a mechanic to go look at the car, right?
Right. I was trying to get my brother to come. Then
is your brother a mechanic?
No, but he knows a little bit about cars. And I told him I don't have money for a mechanic because I thought they were going to charge me probably 80 extra bucks or whatever. Which
and then look at you, you're in court suing for $1,300. All right, go on. Okay.
So then,
so you were going to bring your brother, but your brother didn't go.
Right, he didn't. He wasn't picking up my calls. I don't know what happened to him.
So instead, you brought your daughter and your daughter's boyfriend.
Well, my daughter brought him because they were going to come along, and I didn't want to meet this guy.
So you did not bring him as someone who knows about cars.
No.
Okay, so you bought the car without a mechanic looking at it or anybody who knows about cars looking at it.
Right, pretty much.
Oh. Okay, and then what happens? How'd that work out for you?
Not good at all.
Okay.
He told me that the car only needed an oil change and that the bumper was kind of falling off and it was held off with tape because someone had backed up into him. And those are the only two things that was wrong with the car. And then he took my daughter to the driver's seat. He pulled up some fuse under the hood. He was telling her, you see, this light is going to go on. And the light that he was showing my daughter, which at the time she didn't know what it was an engine light.
Well, why doesn't she know? Because doesn't it say engine?
No, it has a picture of a little engine.
Right.
She didn't know.
But didn't she tell you, Mom, the engine light went on?
No, she didn't know what an engine light looked like.
Mom, a light went on?
And I chewed my daughter's head off.
But what was it? What happened there? Where you pulled a wire and what happened there?
I pulled out the fuse. I explained to her the engine light was going to come on. In order for her to take the light back off, you just need a mechanic. I showed them so to make sure, I was showing them the car, make sure there's nothing wrong with the fans. That's what my intentions was.
You were showing it to who?
All of them was her daughter, and her boyfriend.
So when you did that, she was watching too?
Yes, they was all there.
Okay. So anyway, go on. You purchased a car. You paid $1,200 for it. Do you have a written contract?
He gave me the title of the car.
Do you have a written contract?
No, we did not.
Nothing? Okay. Do you know what the law is in this regard when you buy a used car?
Not really, ma'am.
Okay. The law is that it is as is. That means a buyer has to beware. The exception to that is if there is a specific warranty on the part of the seller, something that he knows and he's lying about. You're not allowed to commit a fraud, but you are allowed to sell a used car that has problems. You just can't lie about stuff. You just can't say, I put in a new engine a year ago. That engine's a year old, and then it turns out the engine's 10 years old. You can't specifically make a warranty and lie about it. What evidence do you have of that? I know you have evidence that apparently there's a bunch of stuff wrong with the car. Before you bought the car, you test drove it twice.
I drove it, whatever, test driving is, which it was like under
You don't even know how to do that much?
No.
Oh,
And
then
then
maybe you shouldn't be making $1,300 deals.
Yeah.
All right, so you test drove it twice. You finally take it to a mechanic, so you figure out how to drive a car to a mechanic, which is something you could have done. You could just wait till the next day to buy the car. And then that's after you negotiate away a third of the price off the car. And his many texts where he says two things. I just want to get rid of the car, and there's nothing wrong with the car other than what I told you. He does say that repeatedly. All right. And then when you take it to the mechanic, what's wrong with the car?
There's a listing here and I also got pictures.
Okay, let's see the mechanic's report and let's see the pictures.
And I'm including.
You're all kinds of thorough now, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I even got little quotes of the things that he constantly kept repeating in the text. How there's nothing wrong with this car. It's a great car. It's just a great car.
Why are there
nothing's
pictures
wrong with
of
it.
children here? What's the point of that?
Well, I brought my granddaughter's picture because she was one of the witnesses that was there when I took the car to go see the car.
Okay, and so what did he say?
Well, I just want.
You just want me to see your cute grandkids.
I just feel
Check.
that he could put my granddaughter and my family in danger after you see those pictures and everything that's going on under that car.
Why didn't you look under the car? Why didn't you put it up on a lift and look under?
Because it was in the street. I didn't like again. I didn't.
According to you, now you're telling me how the guy looked under the car and so he knew it, but apparently you don't know it. There's a Coke can wrapped around a pipe here under the car.
Yeah, they saw that, man.
What's that about?
I did not see that.
Hold on. What's that about?
Her daughter's boyfriend looked under the car. They saw the cans. I told them what the cans was. There was a little hole on the muffler. That's $50 to fix around the neighborhood. They knew that.
But why are there Coke cans?
Because I didn't have the money to fix it at the time. I just took the Coke can with tape.
Is that something people do?
Clear it up. Yeah, it's just so it won't waste a lot of gas.
Do other people do that besides you?
Yeah, other people do it because I got that from somebody else who told me to do it.
Okay, so that was discussed that day?
Yes, I told them that. They know that.
What proof do you have it was discussed that day?
I don't have no proof. I have an ad that I have on Craigslist with the same thing I told her.
And you're talking about a Coke can?
No.
Oh.
There was no problems with the car. That's why I didn't add that really.
Let me see your ad on Craigslist. Is that the ad she responded to that you're going to show me?
No, she found my number back of the car.
Oh, that's right.
The starting price I asked for the car was $2,500. But I had another car.
What was the blue book value of the car?
I don't know.
How do you pick a starting price without looking at what?
Because a 2004 car with no issues, basically. All it needed was a front bumper.
According to her, there's a bunch of issues. Let's see what she says is wrong with it, or at least what the pep boys and the dealerships are telling her is wrong with it.
After a couple of days she had the car, then all of a sudden it was leaking and doing a whole bunch of stuff.
When did she first complain? I thought she first complained on the first day.
No, on the first day, she said she wanted her money back. And I told her.
Why?
I left. I do not know. Oh, she said because the light. She didn't see the light. So I said, she said she want her money back. I was like, no problem. I'll be back around 9:00. And I'll give you your money back because I don't want to deal with this.
Is that in the texts?
I had a voicemail, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have the voicemail with you?
I deleted it, unfortunately.
Okay, go on.
So then on Sunday, she just called me and say, "Oh, how she didn't mean what she said, that she was gonna keep the car with whatever issues
And
had.
then when
Can
did
I
she
please?"
complain again?
I was on Tuesday, I
Okay.
believe. On Tuesday.
So it was 2 or 3 days later. Why did you call him to get your money back on the same day?
Because I saw the engine light, like,
Okay,
like
so that part's
after.
true. And then did he tell you, okay, I'll give you your money back?
No, he never said he was going to give me my money
Well,
back.
then
He said,
what
I'll
did he
be back
say
at 10
for you to
o'clock.
do at 10 o'clock?
He said, I'll be back around 10 o'clock. I said, I'm going to leave a key with your girlfriend because his girlfriend supposedly lives around where I live.
Okay.
So I said, I'll leave one key with your girlfriend. And then when you come back, I'll give you the other key. I just want my money back.
And he said,
And he said, sorry, the car is yours.
on
It's
that
on
same
the
day.
text.
Okay, that's what I want to see. That's all on the day of the purchase. I'm going to see that.
Everything is there.
Wait, stop and listen to me. Everything you just said is in the text on the day of the purchase.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the day of the purchase was what day?
It was on the 14th.
Okay, and can you just tell me what's wrong with the car? Because you handed me a bunch of bills and I don't see anything except for like one.
Well, you see the comments on Pet Boys. It just tells you everything. I don't know how to say it mechanic way.
wait. All right, let's see the text because very simply, the car has problems, and the question becomes who eats them, based on what representations were made.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So what about this? A 2004 Dodge, and she buys it without having a mechanic check it out. Is that a decent idea or a crazy idea? What do you think?
It depends if she. I can't answer it by my personality. I don't think it's a wise idea.
You just want to be very nice, don't you? I got you.
No, I can't be my personality.
Okay, what do you think?
I don't think it's a wise idea, especially because it's a Dodge.
Well, that's American made, my friend. That's American made. What do you think?
Money to throw away, a stupid decision.
It is a stupid decision.
Obama.
Absolutely.
Going inside the courtroom.
You know, it's just so simple. All anybody has to do is take the car and drive it a block away, 2 blocks away, 6 blocks away to wherever the nearest mechanic is, or have him drive it.
And I was going to do that with her, man.
So what was the problem?
She was taking too long. So I told her, if right now, what was the price would you give me if you don't bring a mechanic? So she told me she'd give me $1,000. I was like,
Oh, that's in the
too low.
text?
Yes.
I don't know if it's in text or
Where he
recall.
says, all right, without seeing a mechanic, how do you, what will you pay?
She said $1,000. I was like, no, that's too low.
Wait, where he said without seeing a mechanic, what would you pay?
Yes.
That's in the text? Hold on one second. All the dates are written in by you and times. Why aren't...
Because I don't have a smartphone, so I had to forward it to my daughter-in-law so she
So
could,
I have no proof of...
she could-
do you have your phone though?
I have it.
So it's in there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. Let's do it that way. Get the text up because I want the actual dates and times. That kind of thing is
Yes.
critical to the case. What do I do? Just scroll up and down?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the date of the sale of the car?
It was September 14th.
Okay. I just want I just want the car checked out because I don't have a job right now. Whatever problems it has, I would like to know right then and there because I don't have the money to invest. If you have another buyer, don't wait on me, okay? I understand. And he answers, I just want to get rid of the car. I told you what's wrong with it. There's nothing else. Except for that, I see from the estimates not estimates, but just general comments by Pet Boys, that there's all kinds of wiring rigged all over the place and Coke cans and holding it together. What price would you pay right now for it? I only have $1,000. Wow, that does sound like you're saying, okay, sight unseen or mechanic unchecked. I'll take it. I'm a gambling Vegas kind of girl, and I'll give you $1,000. Can you do $1,200? You can take it now. You answer yes. And you tell them how much you appreciate the bargain basement deal. The next day, or I guess that night, call me please. You say, I didn't notice that there was an engine light on. He responds, yeah, I told you all when I took off the fuse, the yellow light is gonna go on. Ask your daughter. And there's you saying, the car's yours, I'm sorry. What is the specific warranty that he made that he violated?
To me, he should have told me I'm selling the car as is.
But he doesn't have to tell you, that's the law.
Well,
the law is that when you buy a used car from a private party, it is as is, that's the law.
I didn't know.
That's fine, but that's your ignorance of the law. That's not something he did wrong.
Okay.
So what specific warranty did he make to you other than to tell, when somebody who's selling a car says it's a great car, this is what we call in this part of the law, it's called puffery. You know, it's a great car. That's not a specific warranty. That's their opinion. Okay, you're going to see there's nothing wrong with it. It runs great. I've been running it like that for a while. You know, if you want to know what's wrong with the car, get a mechanic to look at it. Because then he says, okay, how much sight unseen, like he's Monty Hall and let's make a deal. And you're only too happy to play Vegas odds. And you say, for a car where he's asking $1,800, you say to him, about 1,000 sight unseen with no mechanic. And then he says, how about 1,200? And then you say, deal. And you run over there and buy it without getting a mechanic. And now you're, I don't know anything. You know, we got a problem. My verdict in this case is for the defendant on your claim. You have a counterclaim against her for $1,200. For what?
Harassment and
Harassment what? She wants her money back. She thinks that you're a cheat. That's called litigation. That's not called harassment. On your counterclaim against her, 0. That's my judgment.
The plaintiff has lost her case because the defendant did not lie about a warranty. What's your feeling on what you just learned about the law in there?
Well, I just feel that with all the evidence and everything that I brought, she could have taken under consideration that I was lied to, even though I didn't know about the law. And
Well, you know what as is means now, right? And your big mistake was not taking it to a mechanic before you laid your good hard-earned money down,
yeah,
right? Next time?
because he got to walk with my money, and I got a piece of junk. And he's a good liar.
Yeah, all right. You just go right down this way and let's see what he has to say about that. All right, come on in here. You hear how upset she is, and you put yourself in her shoes.
I have nothing to say, to tell you the truth. The judge said it all. Got nothing else to say.
Under the law,
Done.
you win. You win.
Yeah, I did win.
It's still the neighborhood, right? Aren't you guys, you see each other around the neighborhood there?
Yeah,
What's that like?
Driving a car like nothing. So
Oh.
it's whatever.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, it's insane to buy a car without having a mechanic check it out if it's a used car. And what you can do is this. If it costs you money to have the car checked out, make a deal with the seller and say, look, if I buy the car, either you pay the full amount for the inspection or we split it. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.